Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about 4.8e, finding equations from roots. So mostly we are looking for the zeros when we know the original equations, right? The functions. But today we are doing opposite way, backward. So you don't know the functions. You know only the zeros. Then can you find out original function? That's what we are going to do. So, so you are going to be able to find equations from the integer root. So today we are going to have only integer root, all right? The easy ones. So before we start the lesson, can you find start to do now? Find the solution of this equation. When you take a look, can you try? I'll give you 4 minutes. All right. Okay, let's go over together. So when you see, you cannot factor this equation. You cannot find any number, two numbers by adding, become -1, b is -1, by multiplying 5. To be 5, 1 and 5, only one option, right? 1 and 5. And so either positive, positive, negative, negative. You cannot make by adding, you cannot make a -1, right? Then it's not integer root. So what should you do? There's only calculator can help you. Then you should use what? Quadratic formula, right? So A is 1, B is a -1, C is a 5, and we put these numbers into the quadratic formula. Negative B plus minus square root B squared minus 4AC over 2 times A, right? So you plug in like this and then simplify. Negative, negative become +1. And then inside the square root, if you simplify, -1 squared is 1 minus 4 times 1 times 5 is 20. So 1 minus 20 is -19. Oh, what did we do? Negative in the square root. You cannot have negative in the square root. It becomes error, right? So it's not the real number anymore. So what do we do? Negative comes out as I, which is imaginary. And then you separate into the two fractions with the denominator 2. 1 over 2, like plus or minus. I comes out of the square root, and then square root of 19. Can you simplify square root of 19? No, right? There's no perfect square as a factor in the 19, so we are done. So you just separate into the two parts, plus and minus. Like. Now everybody get it? It's easy, right? So now let's start our lesson today. So if zeros are -1 and 4, you have two integer zeros. Then what are the factors? And then how do you find out original equation? So you remember how to find a factor from the zero, right? Because you learned Kim's method. If x is -1 and x is 4, first let's work with -1. What is the factor? -1 give you, yes, x plus 1, right? You need x, but number, what did I say? It becomes opposite sign, right? How do you find the zero backward? You set this x plus 1 equal to 0 and solve it, then that's a zero value, which is x is -1. Do you get it? Then how about x equal to 4? X equal to 4. Then you move 4 to other side. That's the same thing. So x equal to 4, you write down x equal to 4 and move 4 to other side by subtracting. It's the same thing. So x minus 4. Make sense? X equal to 4. X equal to -1. And you solve it, then you move the, -1 to other side and 4 to other side, and other side becomes 0. So that's the factor. So you have two factors. That's the first step. Now, second step is, so actually this is the original equation already, but this we call factored form. What form? Factored form. Now, sometimes we need to change this into the standard form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c form. So how do you change it to the standard form? Yeah, FOIL, right? You multiply this. So this is a factored form. Yes, this is actually original equation. Yes, it's correct. But when you are asked to find the equation in the standard form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c form, then you need to convert this, right, by FOIL. So x times x is x squared, like this, right? And x times negative 4 is negative 4x. You are done with x. You did it twice. Then move to 1, right? 1 times x is 1x, which is just x. And then 1 times negative 4 last, minus 4. Are we done? No, don't leave like this. There are like terms, this, right? Negative 4x and 1x. If you combine, negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3x, right? So your final answer is x squared minus 3x minus 4. Is it difficult? No, right? It's very simple. So today we learned when you have two integer zeros, how to find out factors. All right? So you can find the factor from each zero, and then this is equation, but you can just but you can change it to the standard form by FOIL, right? So these and these are equivalent equation. All right. Then we'll have a error analysis. So now in your group, so you uh, in your group, please discuss together and find out one speaker and one note taker, and then discuss each other. Please write down your member's name and figure out what is error, and then give the correct answer in this side. Can you do it now? All right, so let's do it together. So which step is wrong? Error. So if the root is 3, what is the factor? Is x plus 3? If negative 4, is it x minus 4? No, right? It's opposite. That's the error. So your answer must be x minus 3, x plus 4, right? And then we want to change into the what? Standard form. Actually, this is also the function, but we want to change into the standard form. Then what do? You do the, yes, FOIL. So x times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. Now move to negative 3. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. And then combine like terms. 4x minus 3x is 1x. And then this is your standard form of the function. These number 1, number 3 is exactly same, equivalent, right? Equivalent equation. So depending on how the question asks you, you can stop here or you should continue up to the standard form. All right. Now you can go down and see you assign the questions, finish them, and hand in by 8 p.m. All right.